Alright fellers, what I got here is a Lucas Cav injection pump. This one happens to be on a 4BT in a little case 550 dozer. This thing has had its share of leaks. Not too long ago, I replaced the O-ring and the gasket on the throttle cover here, and that fixed that leak. And as of lately, when I say lately, I mean the past couple of months, it's been dripping fuel out the bottom of the pump. And what it was a fuel shutoff solenoid leaking. From all the heat cycles they go through and everything, they'll get to where they leak fuel right here around this, where the electrical connector is. Now this is not the one off of this engine. I actually pulled this off a spare engine I had and was going to use it, and I got noticing, it says right here on it, if I can find it, well, I'm having a little trouble. Anyway, it says it's 24 volt. I can't see it through the camera. Let me see if I can get it to focus. Let me see here. Where did that say 24 volt? Right there. Right there on the plastic. I don't know if y'all can see that. See, that says 24 volt right there. Alright. So, I already put my other one on that other engine just to keep it plugged up because I want to keep contaminants out of it. So, this ain't going to do me any good. So, today, I went, and I could have went to any injection shop, but I went to Scott Equipment Company, and I paid a few dollars more, but it saved me some driving time, and I got a new one, and this is the original equipment. This is a Delphi, and I'm going to tell you, you can buy these online on eBay and Amazon and such for as little as 12 bucks, but I don't trust them. I do not trust this part made in China because it's kind of difficult to put on, just a little bit, and I don't want the aggravation of having to, you know, work on it again. Now, if I'd get it to focus again, there we go. You see that, and it says 12 volt. So we're all good. Alright. Now let's get back to the talking points here a minute. Some people are a little nervous about changing that thing. But what I done was I took this brace loose right here. It comes up to the pump. Took that bolt out and that bolt out. And I found that I could take this 5/16 wrench that I have here cut off, and I could sneak in there behind it and get it off. And nothing falls out or anything. There's nothing to worry about. You just want to be sure and, you know, work clean. You want to pressure wash it and maybe use some brake cleaner around it and use a brush. I used a brush all around it and washed it some more, because you don't want to get anything in that pump. Because you don't want to be getting an injection pump rebuilt. This one's got about 5,500 hours on it. And I'm not ready to rebuild the pump, so I'm taking care to keep it clean. But anyway, I hope this helps somebody. It's no big deal to change that out. And they'll tell you got to have a special socket and all that, but you'll never get a ratchet in behind there. But you take a wrench, it's got a little bit of a bend in it like that, and you can get a 12-point box-in wrench on that thing. Now let me show it to you. It don't fit it perfect, and it's a little aggravating, but you can get it on there. You have to wiggle it a little bit, but it'll go. Now I may have to bend this wrench a little more to tighten this new one, because when I was taking that old one off, I could only get the wrench on about that far. But I put another wrench in there and pried up on it just to put some pressure on it, and I managed to pop it loose. I'm fixing to screw this one in and tighten it up. And I might have to pause this for a minute and go heat this wrench and put a little more of a crook in it. But if you got a fuel leak, and it's on the bottom of that Lucas Cav, or Cav Lucas, whichever way. I've heard it said frontards and backwards, both ways. It's probably just that. Now this one was $133 at Case. Most of the injection shops, you can pick up the original Delphi like this for about 112, 114 bucks. And the injection shops sell the ones made in China for about 70. Or you can get on eBay or Amazon and you can get one of those made in China for, 20 bucks or less. But I don't prefer those because with a few heat cycles, it's going to go leaking fuel around this stud again, and I didn't want that. So I'm fixing to put my little tab on here. This takes a 5/16 wrench. And mine, yours might have a ring terminal. And it may be on a New Holland, it may be on anything. They put this pump on a lot of stuff. But anyway, you might have a ring terminal. I happen to have a spade terminal, just a blade connector. Sets on there just like that. I'm going to put that on there ahead of time, and I'm not going to tighten it. I'm just going to snug it up, because when I get this, I don't want to have to loosen that again. I'd rather get it screwed in, and then when I get this tight, I can reach up on there and tighten that, and I can position this connector where I want it that way. So anyway, I'm fixing to reach on there and thread this on, and then tighten it up, show you it ain't a real big deal, and hope I don't have to eat my words. I've changed a lot of solenoids, but so far I've been lucky, and I haven't had to change one on the bottom of a Lucas Cav pump until now. And it's not because it failed, it's just because it went to leaking, and I could smell fuel all the time, and it was just slowly leaking all the time. And I think maybe the thing was leaking even when it wasn't running, because this dozer seemed to use a lot of fuel. I was always putting a lot of fuel in it, and it don't smoke. I don't think it needs injectors, because it burns clean. It runs great. And also it would lose its prime really easy, because it'd get air in it, because it'd leak down right here. Anyway, enough talking. Let me see if I can get this on there and tighten it up. I'm gonna get in your way. I can't help. I got y'all on a tripod, and I don't want to drop this. That is a pain to reach. If you didn't have the charge pump and all that other stuff in the way, it would be a whole lot easier. I've got to get my feel again for where that hole is, because I drove to the next town 30 miles away and picked this up, and that's been a minute. And you can't even hardly feel back there. Okay. Now I'm oriented. I feel pretty good. It ain't easy. Not with big hands. That's a tight place. Sure was a whole lot easier getting the other one off. I will get it in there. I just got to get my big hands in there. All right. I'm in the hole if I just get it to thread. Not a lot of room. Not a lot of room. It does go at a bit of an angle. Come on. Well, I almost dropped it. Can't have that. And I got a little dirt on it. This whole block ain't clean. I'm wiping it off here. This ain't one of them real easy jobs, but I promise it's one you can handle. I got one itty bitty piece of trash in there I want to get out. Let's see here. I actually put my old one back on that other engine and didn't have this much trouble, but I'm going to tell you, that other engine is not in the dozer, and that charge pump is not on it. I'm going to snug that just barely, because that turning was making me nervous that that nut was going to come off and I was going to lose it. And I think that was interfering with me a little. Yeah, this is a pair of old underwear. Use everything as much as you can. Don't throw it away till it's really used up. That's my motto. Well, I needed somebody with littler hands to get this started. Come on now. There, and I know that's where it goes. I found the hole. It's the threads that are holding me up. A little different angle, maybe that. Yeah. Got her going. Happen to have the flash on this phone. There she is. You'd see where she resides back there. And she started in. Let me set y'all up a little bit different right here. And maybe y'all can watch me tighten that up. I don't know. Y'all are probably tired of this. If you are, you can go watch something else. That's okay. But you know, everybody don't get bored quick. I'm gonna lower the tripod and y'all can just hang around for the tripod lower in here. Someday I'm going to do a video on what I use to record YouTube with. Now, I don't know if y'all can see where I'm headed with this, but it's right in here just like this. You can see the angle. If that brace was on there, I couldn't do it. See? You got to get in there like that. And I'm having trouble getting up on it. See that hose clamp right there is holding me up. A little thing like that. Need to be able to be bent just a little more. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go bend this wrench because I thought I needed to earlier. I'm going to go heat this with a torch and bend it just a little bit. Alright, you'll see what I done there. I heated that and bent it just a little bit. It's too much trouble to take y'all over with me to do that. I'm just trying to save somebody trying to fight this thing later. I didn't fight it for long. See, my wrench goes all the way up on there now. Ain't no problem. Here, I'll take y'all off the tripod and get you in there close and show you. See? There it is in there. Got room to get my wrench up on there. Now that being really meant to put something on that's a 6-point. It's got some kind of square looking corners on it. Kind of rounded off already. The way it's made. That makes it a little tricky getting a 12-point on there. But it'd be done. I got to put y'all back on the tripod because I need both hands. But I'm fixing to win. Okay. There's another stroke. There's another stroke. There's another stroke. I know it ain't going to take much. There's one more. Come on now. Come on. Get in there. It's going to tighten up on this one. That's going to be it right there. I might put a little more on it. If you're doing this on a case dozer, you might want to consider loosening up this dipstick that goes up to the top. This oil dipstick, and get it out of your way just barely. It's the only thing I can say I'd do different. I know y'all always looking at the back of my head. I can't help it. Alright. I need to get up on there one more time. Come on. Come on. Get up on there. There we go. Yeah, that won't leak. That's probably tighter than when I took it off. Anyway, that concludes this job. That fuel shutoff solenoid is on. I'm fixing to hook up my wires and And then I've got to put this aggravating brace back on here. Now see, with that brace on there, you'd never get it. That brace is on all of them, and that would be in your way. But you're subject to find this particular pump on a lot of different machines, not just a case. So anyway, don't worry about it. Ain't nothing to fret about. Just take your time. And, you know, you'd buy the Chinese one if you want to, but I didn't want to chance it because it's too aggravating to change, and my time is worth money. And one more thing, be sure and pay attention whether yours is 12 or 24 volt if you order one of these off the internet. I mean, there's a whole bunch of these out there that's pretty much all the same, and you could very easily get the wrong voltage and then it wouldn't work. If you got a 12 volt one instead of a 24, and wind up burning the coil in this up. And if you got a 24 volt one they put on for a 12 volt system, then it wouldn't be able to activate it. So just a little thought there. Well, I got her all installed. We're fixing to find the truth out here. Turn the fuel back on. I should have had this set before I picked up the camera, I guess, huh? I expect it to have some air in it. Well, she's not leaking, and when you turn the key off, the motor shuts off like it's supposed to. I reckon that's a success.